Really hate to bring this up because of all the DJI fanboys and their bots that are probably going to eat this video alive. But DJI really messed up with that unlocking system that they've got. It made one job very difficult to do and actually dangerous trying to get it to come back to me. And the other one, I was lucky. I gone through a lot to get it set up, but my Inspire was able to fly. The first job, I took a drone-based job. It was the first one I gotten from them. I've been a member for about a year, but I guess they're just moving to the East Coast now. And I took the job and went out, drove about 40 miles, talked to the contact. The contact said, "Well, you're not the guy I talked to before. He walked the property with me, and I want him back, not you." So I contacted the drone-based contact by email, and he said to wait. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I finally decided that I should fly it anyway before I left, so I set up and took off. It was a wooded, undeveloped lot. I only had a few feet to get the Phantom up through the canopy, since it was all old growth trees, about 150 feet tall. I got it up to about 15 feet and a no-fly zone notice popped up and the drone landed itself. Now this area, shown on their DJI's website, is a self-unlocking zone, and I had unlocked it the previous evening. It was about a half mile from a no-fly zone to the west and about a half mile from one of the DJI extended runway no-fly zones to the east. But their website showed this area clear. The unlock was shown in the unlock part of the app too. I moved the drone about 40 feet and tried it again. 15 feet up it said it was a self-unlocking zone and gave me the option to unlock it, which I did. The drone went up through a small hole in the trees, took a few pictures in accordance with the script, but they were kind of useless because there was really no definition between the properties, because you were just looking at the tops of solid area of trees. I decided to take a scenic shot to replace the back of the property, which was allowed, since when I flew towards the back of the property, the drone stopped, telling me it wouldn't cross a no-fly zone. I didn't know it would do that. I thought once you got it up in the air, you were clear. Coming back from the scenic shot, the screen says I couldn't activate the return to home because it would cross a no-fly zone. I had to run down the street until I found a direction to bring it back to me, then had to maneuver it down in keeping directions to find another spot to get the drone back. I decided to create some lower level shots, about 40 feet of the property, to have something the customer would want. Those came out great, by the way. I packed up all my stuff and started home. I stopped for lunch and I saw an email pop up telling me I can leave the property. Uh, can't blame roommates too much. I mean, they did pay me for travel. I wish I hadn't risked the drone and myself, though. That stupid DJI no-fly zone stuff became dangerous because I couldn't control the return of the drone and had to run down a hilly road to keep sight of it in a direction that would let me fly it. Beyond the argument that it shouldn't be restricted to me when FAA says I can, the DJI maps just are not accurate. I had a job the next day, and it was actually worse. I had to fly a property for another company down by the water. It was close to a major naval base. I had applied for and gotten a waiver from the FAA. The waiver required coordination with the tower. The tower agreed and issued a NOTAM for my operation. They had to do a lot of stuff to allow me to do it, but they were incredibly helpful and accommodating. I self-unlocked the Class D airspace the night before. The morning came, I called the tower, I set up, and at the agreed upon time, I took off and flew the mission. Well, not really. The Phantom said it would not take off due to it being a no-fly zone. Since I only had a half hour before I had to land, I pulled out my backup, which was an Inspire 1, and flew the mission after almost getting hit by a car by a woman in a hurry on that short dead-end street. At least the Inspire flew. Be honest, I'd get rid of that Phantom if most jobs didn't require it and it was so damn useful for other stuff. So I guess this video is more of a warning than anything. Though it may work in many parts of the country, the Phantom cannot be depended on to fly, especially when your sectional chart's full of military bases and Class D airspace.
And even on the day it flew, it took 20 minutes to get up in the air, and even then caused me to have to run down a hill to find some allowed route to get it back to me. That was just plain dangerous. I guess you can tell I'm not too happy with DJI's unlocking system.